Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video, I'm very excited because I got the brand new Natasha Denona face palette. It is called the Hyper Natural Face Palette. Now, I personally have never purchased any of Natasha Denona's face palettes. They haven't interest me. I think there's three. There's like two of the glam, a light and a darker one, and then the love one. I just have never been interested in them. They all have like a highlighter and a cream blush. To me, they just were just not of interest to me. I know that a lot of people, kind of the light glam one did appeal to me, but I was just like, I had to be honest with myself that I wasn't going to use it. However, this one, the minute I saw it, I was like intrigued. And then when I watched Natasha's Instagram, she talked about the purpose of this palette, I instantly wanted it. So immediately when it went on sale on Natasha Denona, I purchased it. Now I did have, I think, $25 to spend because I leave reviews for products and you get points. So I was able to cash in the $25. So I think I paid whatever, 62 minus 25. I know it was over 35 because over 35 I got free shipping. So I got it. It was expensive, but not too bad. I do have a promo code. It's just Shannon. So if you use that promo code, you can save 15%, but you can't do both. So you can't use your rewards and you can't get a promo code. So I chose to save more money and use my rewards rather than use my own promo code. But anyway, here is the palette. And I know there's already tons of videos on here. So I got mine on Friday, but I just wasn't able to film. And then this weekend was just really busy. So I just really wasn't able to film. So I have already swatched it. I did do some swatches in the sunlight, but what I wanted to do is play around with it a little bit. And I did play around with it a little bit over the weekend. So it's a first impression, but maybe a little bit more. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to try on every single eyeshadow as a one and done. So, but let's talk about this new palette. Okay, so here is the box, and then here is the actual palette, which I already showed. It's a little bit smaller than the midi, and I'm assuming a little smaller than the other face palettes. I think the other face palettes, from what I read, were that they were the same size as the midi. So this is a little bit smaller. And here what it says on their website is that the Hyper Natural Face Palette combines the no makeup concept with Natasha's renowned expertise, creating an everyday eye and cheek essential. Infused with hydrating, skin-loving ingredients, this talc-free HY-BRID face palette showcases 5 eyeshadows perfect for finger application and an extra soft blush duo and a multifunctional bronze and contour trio. Featuring 5 eyeshadows perfect for simple mono looks or layered for depth, the one-of-a-kind palette includes a sparkling topper and debuts a new Hyper Silk eyeshadow formula with a luxuriously silky gel to powder texture. The pink coral high-tech powder blush duo and multifunctional bronze and contour trio come in a new ultra soft innovative formula that delivers a smooth airbrushed finish. Whether a professional or a beginner, this versatile face palette is designed to suit everyone with its easy to use high performance hydrating formulas. So one of the reasons why I was instantly gravitated towards this palette and not the other. So first of all, the other 3 palettes, they were essentially, like I said, a cream blush, a highlighter, and a mini eyeshadow palette. So it had like 5 shadows, which was like a mini eyeshadow palette, and then the blush, a cream blush, and the highlighter. First of all, the highlighter was always what deterred me, because if it was a bronzer and if it was like maybe a cream bronzer, I would have probably picked one up. But the highlighter, I don't need, a highlighter in a face palette. It's fine when it's like in the hourglass, like I like that, or if it's like 4 blushes and a highlighter, that's fine. But like in something like that, to me, the highlighter was just too big and a waste. Then I also had heard later on that the cream blush also dried out on a lot of people. And then it was essentially just another eyeshadow. The eyeshadows looked beautiful, but it wasn't like anything that I didn't have. So that's why it just never really appealed to me. I think it's a really good little palette for maybe someone who doesn't have a large makeup collection. This, however, was different because one, you have the blush and the bronzer. So you have the blush duo and then the bronzer trio. But then these shadows were really what kind of sold me, is that these are not necessarily made to be used together. These are made to be one and done. Can you use them together? Yes. Can you layer them? Yes. However, 4 of the 5 shadows are designed to be worn as individual shadows. So I thought that was like great, because I do like one and done shadows. I typically will do the Eyes to Mesmerize or other, you know, cream shadows, but I have done like single shadows, and I love the concept of this, especially that I'm going on a cruise. I've talked about this before. We're going on a cruise in March, and this is something that I think would be perfect for the day. Like this is like, you know, I could do a little bit of eyeshadow, blush, and it's all like right here. So, you know, it's not necessarily something I'm going to wear at night, but perfect for every day. And I think this just is a really great palette. I think it's a new concept, something that isn't really out there. So I did really like the concept. So that was the reason why I picked up this one and I didn't pick up the previous face palettes. So I did do some swatches in sunlight of the, well, actually of everything. You can see I've already touched it, but I'm going to insert now pictures of, these are the pictures of the bronzer trio and the blush duo. So what you'll see first on the left hand side is the bronzer trio. So it's the first, second, and third shade, and then the last shade is the like a combination of all three, which to be honest is how I'm probably going to wear it. Now the blush duo is the same thing. So the first shade is the light shade, the second shade is the darker shade, and then the last shade is a combination of the two. Now with the blush, I will probably do more of, I will probably kind of do it the concept of the cheek to chic. I think that's the name of the blush from Charlotte Tilbury, where it's kind of like the boob blush is what you said. You know, you do that, you kind of put this and then you pop it with a, you know, a cheek here. You kind of pop it to give that little pop here, or you can use it all together. I think all, you know, three ways are perfect. So, but with the contour, it's a little bit harder. Like you can see, you could probably, they're really thin. So you're probably only going to get, you're going to have to either mix these two shades or mix these two shades or mix all together. For me, mixing them all together is probably the perfect shade, and that's what how I plan to do it today. With the blush, I'm going to put one on each side and then kind of blend them out. And then what I'm going to do with the eyeshadows is I'm going to put one on each side, and so you can see the individual shadows of how they look of one and done. I'm going to do them, and then I'm going to put the topper on each so you can see that as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the bronzer trio, and I am going to just going to head and mix all three shades because that's how I plan to wear it. Plus, you know, with a brush, this is, so I'm going to be using some Sigma brushes today. This is the one from Christian Dominique. This is the face contour brush. So look, this is actually a pretty small like bronzer brush, but even then, if you see, you're not going to be able to get only one shade. I am going to try and just, I'm going to get all three. Another brush that I thought would be good that I might use as well is the one from, also from Sigma. This is from Samantha Ravendell collection, and this is the tapered contour. This one is a little bit more loose. This one is a little bit more condensed. So I'm going to use this one first. I might go back in with this one to kind of shape the face. But I will say these are amazing. Like they swatched beautifully. They do look really well. They're very buildable. The formula is phenomenal. Like I really hope she comes out with more products with this formula because I do think it is gorgeous. So that is it blended out with all three, and you can see it just blends out really, really beautiful. I probably picked up a little too much, but I can buff that out. But that is, I mean, it just is stunning. It is such a gorgeous bronzer and contour, and I mean, it's really good. Now, as far as the color is concerned, I do think could someone with a darker skin tone wear it? Yes, but I think it's going to be, you know, the lighter shade is going to be a little bit lost on somebody. Alicia Archer, I'll post a link to her video below. She did a great video. She obviously has a darker skin tone, and she talked about, you know, using it with someone with a darker skin tone. I can't compare. I can't, you know, give that feedback. So I would say, so if you have a darker skin tone, I would watch her. So, but I do think it builds up really nicely, and the formula is just phenomenal. So now I'm going to use that tapered contour brush to go around the face, and just because it is a little bit looser, so just to kind of give you know, a different type of brush depending. The other one is, like I said, is a little bit more condensed, so it's more for contour, where this one is just a little bit looser. I think you could use either one or similar brushes. I know a lot of people like big bronzer brushes. I personally don't like those. The only thing with those is I don't think that's going to work with this. The pan is pretty small. This is actually not a really big brush, and you know, it's a good size as far as that's concerned. The formula is just so creamy. So let me just show you really quick how it swatches, because I just realized that I showed the pictures but I didn't show how it swatches. I'm just going to show the first two shades. So that's the darkest shade and that's the middle shade, but you can see how gorgeous they just swatch. It's like super creamy. It's just a beautiful formula. So as far as the formula is concerned, it's fantastic. Now as far as the shade, you know, if you are, you know, much darker than me, maybe it's something you don't want to pick up, or I would say definitely watch Alicia Archer's video. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and do the blushes. I am going to be using, again, from Sigma, this is the Christian Dominique. This is the Angled Cheek Blush brush, and I think it's perfect for this because it's a really good size if you wanted to get between the two shades. Now, let me go ahead and swatch these two shades. So again, here is the lightest one, and here is the deeper one. So it's like a pink coral, very nice, swatches really beautifully. It just feels like silk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the lighter shade on this side, and then I'm gonna go in with the deeper shade on this side, just so you can see the comparison of the two. And then I am going to go ahead and kind of smooth it out and make it one so that you can see what it would look like with the two shades combined, because that's pretty much how I will wear it. Or like I said, I will wear it with the deeper shade and then the pop of the lighter shade. So let's go ahead and use the lighter shade on my left cheek. Okay, so here we go with the lighter one, and it's a really pretty light pink, but even though it's light, it is showing up on me. Like, I've seen lighter colors and lighter blushes or some that maybe appear darker in a pan that don't show up as well as this one, but this one has a really pretty pigment. So here is the light blush. And now I'm going to go in on the other side. You can see there's no product on here, and I'm going to use the darker blush. Now, quite a bit picked up, so I'm going to try and go a little bit lighter, and you can see quite a bit of a lot more product, you know, came off, but I didn't really put that much on the brush. So you only need a little. You could definitely build it up if you wanted to, but that I don't need to, I don't think. So again, here is the darker side of the blush, and here is the lighter side. Okay, so I have come back and I just kind of evened out the blush a little bit. Hopefully it's pretty good or pretty even. Now we're gonna get into eyeshadows, because I think that's what everybody really wants to look at, is the eyeshadows. As I mentioned, I did do some swatches already in Sunlight. So here they are from left to right. We have Everyday, Dreamy, this is the topper shade. Then we have Statement, Soft, and then Casual. I am going to go ahead and swatch them here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the 4 shades first, and then I'm going to swatch the topper at the end. We'll go ahead and start. I still have the blushes there. So this is Everyday. This is Statement. Next is Soft, and then Casual. So Soft, I probably didn't pick up enough. It does swatch really nice. That's the pink one, but you can see these are just gorgeous formulas. They are meant to be a one and done. You can use them as a, layering them, but they're not meant to be doing that. And then this is the topper shade. So that is the shade Dreamy, but these swatch really well. I have not put these on my eyes yet. I've played with the blush and the bronzer and contour, but I have not played with the eyeshadows on my eyes yet. So I'm very excited to do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Everyday and Statement on each eye. and then also then top it with Dreamy, and then I will go back in with Soft and Casual so that you can see how each looks with the eye. Before I do that though, I am going to put a little bit of mascara just so you can kind of get an idea of what it will look like with mascara, because right now my eyelashes are pretty much transparent. So I am going to put a little mascara on before I come back, and then I will come back and start applying these eyeshadows. Okay, so I am back. I just put on a little bit of mascara and then put my hair back a little bit so you can see better. And what I do have is I have these E25 blending brushes from Sigma as well. So I am going to apply them on my finger like she suggests. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use these to blend out the edges. Now, another thing that you can do, and is even recommended, is that you can use one of the shades of the bronzers, and even actually the blush. You could use the blush on your eyes as well, but you can use the shade of the bronzer to go in as a transition shade. That's actually how I usually do one and done shadows, is I will go in with a bronzer, whatever bronzer I have, put that on, and then go in like the Eyes to Mesmerize cream or whatever I do. So I like that that is in here. I can do it and I can combine the two. I'm not going to do that today. That's probably how I will wear it. However, that's not what I'm going to do today because I want to show just the shade on the eye by itself. So we're going to start with Everyday, and Everyday is the first shade, and I am going to go in on my left eye, and I'm going to apply it with the finger. Now, I guess you can go in with a brush, but I am going to do it with the finger and then blend it out. Okay, so it's on the eyelid, and now I'm just gonna go in with the brush and blend it out, and it's a really pretty shadow. You can apply it if you don't like applying it with your finger. You can easily go in with a brush, and what I would say is, with this shade right now, and I don't know with the other ones because I've only done this one shade, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of fallout. They seem to be kind of like a cream two-parter formula. So that is the shade Everyday, and I really like it. I think it's a really pretty shade, really pretty all one and done. So I will go next with the shade Statement. Okay, next up is the shade Statement, and I'm gonna go in back again. This seems to be the darkest shade in the palette, but it's one that looks like it can, they seem like they can blend out pretty nicely. So I'm gonna go in now and blend it out, and I'm gonna try and go a little bit light because this one is pretty dark, and I can always build it up a little bit more. But this one, again, it's just, these are really pretty, again, one and done shadows. I could, and I've seen a couple people, do like tutorials of using it like a palette, like a regular palette. But to be honest, if I was intending it to use it like that, I don't think I would have purchased it. I purchased it, mainly because these are meant to be one and done shadows, and I think that's a unique concept with the palette. So this is the shade Statement, which is definitely a statement because it is their darker shade. So again, so this is Everyday, and then this is Statement. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go in with the shade Dreamy, and I'm going to just kind of pop it on the lid of each, so that you can see how it looks on each shade as well. So this is the shade Everyday, and you can see I'm just popping it on there. So it did change the look quite a bit. So if you wanted to go from, day to evening pretty quickly, you could do so. And then now I'm gonna go in over the shade Statement. And again, same thing. So this is this is a topper. You're not gonna wear this. This is not a one and done shadow. This is the topper. I have seen a couple people put this as, one and done, and that's not what this shade is for. So that is Statement with Dreamy, and then this is Everyday with Dreamy. Okay, so I have taken off the eyeshadow from both of these looks. Next, I'm gonna go in with the pink shade, which is the shade Soft. And I'm going to do exactly what I did on the other two eyes, apply it with my finger, and then go in over. Now, this one's not picking up as much, so I might go in with the brush. Okay, so I am applying it with the brush on this one. This one just needs a little help. And I think also because I did do the swatches with my finger, that, you know, some of maybe the oil kind of gave it a little bit. But, you know, again, if you're going to be using it as a one and done shadow using your fingers, which is recommend, you shouldn't be getting hard pan, because, you know, that's what's going to happen. But here it is, applying it with the brush, which again still goes on really nice and really doesn't have fallout as well. So that is the shade Soft. Okay, next I'm going to go in with the shade Casual, which is the last. This is like the grayish shade. So I'm going to go that. I am going to use a brush for this one as well. Again, I am going to say I am getting a little hard pan on these shadows, which is a little disappointing because you are supposed to use your fingers. However, once I go in with the brush, it's fine. But that is something to consider. I've only swatched them twice. I swatched them for that picture, and then I swatched them for on video. So I've only swatched them twice, and then this is the third time I'm going in, and I'm already starting to get hard pan on one of the shades. So if you're supposed to use your finger, that doesn't really make any sense. But, you know, maybe I had some stuff on my fingers and it's my fault. I don't know. But anyway, so this is Casual, and this one definitely seems to be the darkest of the 4 shades. I'm going to blend this out a little bit. Now it could be because I went in with the brush on these. So again, I'm just doing these as a one and done to give you an idea of what the shades look on the eye. So here we go. This is the shade Soft, and this is the shade Casual. Okay, and just like I did in the other ones, I am going to put the topper Dreamy on both so that you can see what these shadows look like with the topper, because it does change the look, you know, quite a bit. So that is Soft with the topper Dreamy. And then next up is Casual. And Casual, obviously, because it's a darker shade, the topper is going to make more of a difference. So again, is this the best application of these single eyeshadows? No, I'm going to be honest. And as I've mentioned, and if you happen to be the first time watching my videos, I am not a professional makeup artist. I'm actually an average at best personal makeup application person. You know, every once in a while somebody will put like, you know, that eye looks horrible or whatever. Probably is, you know, but I think I try and give a realistic expectation, someone who is just average at best. That's why I don't do tutorials, because I watch tutorials, I don't give them. But anyway, so this is Soft with Dreamy, and then this is Casual with Dreamy. Okay, so I'm gonna go and just give myself one eye look and then come back and give you my final thoughts on my first impressions. Okay, so I am back. I just redid my eyeshadow. So what I did this time, I should have done it on camera, but I didn't even think about it. I went in and did use the middle shade for the transition shade, and then I went back in with Everyday and I put that on the lid, just like I did before. But again, I did have the bronzer, the middle bronzer shade, as a transition shade. Didn't make that much of a difference, to be honest. And then I just plopped the Dreamy shade in the middle part of the lid. So just in the middle of it, not all over the lid. And then also just a tad on the brow bone. So I didn't put anything else on. I did just kind of touch up my mascara, but that's all I did for this look. So, okay, a couple of things. Is this palette, do I think it's worth it? I think it's worth it for the right person. For me, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm thrilled with it. I will be taking this on vacation. It has met all my expectations. However, if you really like the Glam face palette or the Love face palette and you're looking for something like this, or you want like a very cohesive, you don't like one and done shadows, then this is not for you. This is something that is, you know, for someone that wants like a one and done, one and done makeup look. Because pretty much everything that I did today, with the exception of my mascara, my lipstick, and my lip liner, are from this palette. I didn't use anything else. Everything is from this palette. So I think it's really great. For me, this is perfect for vacation. This is everything that I wanted. I'm thrilled with all the shades. So that's what I would say for that. But it's not for everybody. And I think it just depends on the person. I do like that these can be plopped out. They are the same size as the mini and the midi. These are not these, but you can switch them out. I don't have any intention to do so. Now, the only thing that I am a little hesitant about is you can see that I am getting hard pan on this one shade, and I'm starting to get it on this shade as well after using it this time. So I'm going to be more careful when I use these shadows, and probably will use them more with a brush instead of my finger, because I'm starting to get hard pan with my finger. I didn't have any cream or anything on my hands, so I didn't have any like that. So I'm just a little concerned with that, but not enough for me to say not to purchase this. I would say just if you have oily hands, or, you know, just be weary of that, because I'm already starting to get hard pan, you know, and I've only had it for a few days. But I think it's excellent. I do have a promo code. My promo code is Shannon. It can save you 15%, which I think brings the price down to like $52. So it brings it down a little bit. But then also, if you purchase on Natasha Denona website and you leave like reviews, you get points and you get rewards, and you can get up to like $25 rewards with still getting free shipping. So I think I paid like $37 for the palette, which I think is an excellent price. Like $37 with the palette with free shipping, excellent price, totally worth it. So I think it's worth it. I think it's excellent, but it's exactly what I wanted from a palette. So I think it just depends on what do you want from a palette, and, you know, that your expectations are clear. If you're looking for like a glam, you know, glam look, this isn't it. This is a palette that you're going to get a natural look. So I think, again, just manage your expectations and what you want from this face palette. But again, I think it's excellent. If you use my promo code, it is a link. There is an affiliate link in the description box below. That helps my channel. But again, my promo code Shannon will save you 15%. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this palette. Are you passing? Are you getting it? Are you interested? Are you gonna wait for a sale? You know, let me know in the comments below. And with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.